I'm going to call this meeting to order. Mary, read the roll, please.
Rumbaugh,
Here.
Thompson,
Here.
Howard,
Here.
Ferris, Garcia.
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome all of those who are here this evening, those who are joining us by social media. We move on to item number C, the approval of agenda. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll move.
Have a motion by Commissioner Brombaugh. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Ferris. Any questions?
Did you remove the building official?
Yeah, but we'll get to that's going to be excluded, right? We move past that. So I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Call the roll, Mayor.
Howard,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Rumbaugh,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we move on to public comment. Anybody signed in? All right, thanks, Shane. All right, we move on to item number 3, consent agenda. Item A, June 21st, 21 Commission meeting minutes. Item B, appropriation ordinances 2021-13, 2021-13A, 2021-13B, and 2021-P13. I will entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll move.
Have a motion, second?
I do.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Thompson, second by Commissioner Howard. Any questions? Mary, read the roll.
Rumbaugh,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Okay, we move on to item number 4, formal actions. Insurance request for proposal. Sharice?
As you're aware, the city manager's office issued insurance RFP asking for information for both the building, property casualty, and work comp, and the whole spectrum, health insurance, everything. I read through several of the responses, read through the RFP, talked to 3 of the individuals that submitted information. Everybody was a little bit confused on what was going on with that process. So what I would recommend is that you reject all the proposals and basically start over. Right now, your property and casualty is setting with EMC, who is the biggest player in the market. They're going to give you the best deal in the market right now. So to me, that one isn't the one that's under the crunch. On the other side, you have some issues with the health insurance. And what I'd like to see you do or consider is separate out the RFP. Allow me to have time to work with the Employee Benefits Committee, figure out what we have in the budget, and then work back through that process and issue another RFP when we really get to the detail of what we're wanting. You may not want Blue Cross. You may not want the consultant that assists you. You may not want either one. You may want to keep one or the other. So we just need to work through that process. And so I would recommend that you reject the proposals.
And so we reject the proposals, which was basically request for qualifications.
Yeah.
So then, do we reissue the request, and are you moving in the direction, if I hear you right, that you want to separate?
I would suggest you separate because you do have EMC right now. And they're pretty good. So I would stick there for right now, and then next year do one at a time. You may end up with the same provider under the consultant under both eventually, but I would start with the health insurance side. Your work comp, I don't think you really want to change away from KMET. You're getting a really good deal with KMET. And same thing with EMC. So I think if the concern is primarily on the health insurance side, then let me focus on that and work with the employee benefits group or committee and try to get some consensus from all parties that this is where the commission wants us to land. This is where employees want us to land. Is there some middle ground that we can work to get everybody on the same page and then go after a proposal? So it'll be a little bit, but we would go back out for an RFP, a formal RFP, not an RFQ.
So what would happen if you got a certain provider that wants to keep things just like they are? I mean, bid both for the health and the property and casualty. Do you accept that, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, they could still submit, but you're really only considering that
That
side.
side.
What you would have them do is when you do the property and casualty, submit at that time. And then they can merge, you can merge the agreements together.
Any questions for Sharice?
I'm good with that recommendation.
You okay with that?
Yep, sounds
All
fine.
right.
Sounds good here.
All right. So we need a motion to allow Sharice to proceed with getting requests and separating the RFPs for property and casualty and health insurance. So I need
And
a motion.
rejecting. And rejecting.
And, right, okay. I need a motion.
I'd make that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Ferris. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Commissioner Bramba. Any questions or concerns? Mary, read the roll.
Thompson,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Brumbaugh,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Okay. Move on to item B, new business, Topside Manor. Sharice?
Okay, Topside Manor approached me with concerns that they felt like they had reached an agreement with staff to pay the cost, the city would pay the cost from the main to the hydrant or to the meter. Was the main, to the hydrant. And then they would cover from there forward. The current staff that we have was not familiar with that agreement and billed topside for that amount, which was $21,534.50. When I visited with several of the topside board members, they indicated that they felt like they had had this agreement with not one, but two different city managers. So I need direction on what you want me to do on this one. It's really something that should come back to the commission because of the dollar amount.
So let me chime in right here and just simply say that, you know, I've been over there and I've walked it through and so forth, and, you know, it's unfortunate that sometimes, you know, things of this nature happen, you know, without the commission being totally informed, and it's good that you've brought it to the commission. However, you know, this is, you know, my suggestion, and of course it can come down to an official vote, but my suggestion is that in the spirit of cooperation that we move forward and pay the $21,534.50, and let me explain why. Number one, it was a formality, and we have a lot of testimonies from the board members that this meeting took place. Secondly, had they not been there, or had they known, and we weren't going to be covered, they could have budgeted into their particular budget, which at the rate that they're going, and, you know, this thing, the project that it's costing. And so, third and final, you know, we are creating economic development, and anything that we can do to cooperate and move this huge project forward. We're selling water, and we're going to be selling electricity for many years to come. So that's my suggestion, that, you know, I just want it to be publicly known. For those three reasons, I believe that the commission should support and pay $21,534.50 so they can continue and move forward with the project. I'm open for discussion.
Just out of curiosity, these were private conversations with city managers that were had in their office, or I'm just curious as to when these discussions happened.
Well, so to be clear, we've been working on this project for 3 years. So we worked with Andrew first. We then worked with Alan. Now we're working with Sharice for a 2-month period. So we'll be on number 4 when she's gone. We also started with Suzanne on our board, and Rich Simon was our public works. So we've dealt with a lot of turnover, and none of us documented that. So that was our error, and tonight we're coming tonight for official documentation of this. But at first, you met with.
We met with city staff in the city office, so it wasn't like it was on the curb and gutter sidewalks. So we actually met in an official building with official people. So unfortunately, nothing got documented. Partially on us too, so we apologize for that. But,
And that was probably with Rich and Andrew.
Yes.
So then we came back and we met with, Ron Schilling and I met with Neil and Alan. And Alan was on the job maybe for a week, maybe. And once again, we didn't document that. So, but Sharice and Neil met us at the trailer. She's going to document.
And that is one thing that we are working to address, is that we're documenting these things in the future. Destin already has a good form to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with doing this, but I just said moving forward from here on out, especially we just need to make sure that, especially large purchases of this nature, you know, we need to have proper documentation, probably on both sides of what's been said and what's been discussed.
We did not realize the large purchase would be that amount.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have assumed.
Yes.
Well, you're on a tight budget. I think we need to do everything we can to help. I'll make a motion, we give you the $21,534.50.
I'll second.
I have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Paris, second by Commissioner Bromba. Any questions or concerns?
Where does that money come from? Out of our end?
Water fund. It'll make it very tight.
Mary Reed Thorold?
Howard,
No.
Harris,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Brumbault,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Very much.
Thank you.
And
We
anytime
appreciate
you
it.
guys like a tour, look us up. We'll give you a walkthrough tour and appreciate everything the staff and you guys have done for us. So thank you.
Yep.
I went over there and I told Ron the other day, I said, you guys might be dedicating that thing in December at the rate that it's going.
Well, the beds won't be here in December, so don't, so we're not, it may be complete, but we won't have beds, so.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, guys. You bet. Right, we move on to item number C, request for assistance from 24/7. Sharice?
Okay, this situation is a little clearer, simply because they called me, said that they were having issues with the amount of water pressure on the store side, which is where the showers and everything are at. And said they had to have at least 50 pounds of pressure, 55 pounds of pressure, and said that they talked to staff and we had it. Well, I went with Neil, he checked the pressure at the meter, checked inside, there wasn't a substantial difference. And then we checked at the hydrant and Fire Chief James was there and it wasn't much difference from the hydrant even. And he says, well, we were told that the engineer checked with the staff and that you had 55, and they both piped up immediately and said, nobody would have said that because we don't have 55 anywhere in Goodland. So I think this one's a little clearer. Now, they have in the past had the same situation arise with the city of Abilene, and I asked the city manager in Abilene, you know, how did they rectify it? Because he said they came in and partnered with them to pay the 20-some thousand for the booster. And he said, we did, but I can't find how much. So he was looking and he still hasn't gotten back with me. So that's, again, commission's decision, but I do not believe it was anything that was the former city managers or any staff did, so.
So the Abilene project, were they experiencing the same problem?
They had the same problem. The engineer told them that it was 55 pounds of pressure and they don't have 55 pounds of pressure.
What's out there, Neil? Probably about 36, 37?
There was 45 at the time, but Ryan was doing a study out there, I think the last year, correct? And he had 51 at best. So when this guy checked the pressures, our towers were moving around 27, 28 feet of water, so the pressure was moving down that day. And when Brian did his studies, it's always in the fall, so the towers are always fuller, and we're not practically turning water in the summer. So the pressure's always a little bit better at that point in time. But I know for a fact that we've never had 55 pounds of pressure anywhere in this system. We even did the guy for topside with fire sprinkler stuff called Al Wichita and wanted us to do a study up there on former fire hydrants and checking the pressure of another fire hydrant. And so Ryan helped us out, and we had 51 up there. So about 51 is going to be about the max that we're going to have anywhere.
So you allude in your directives to us that basically it appears to be an error under the engineering contracting of not catching the error, causing them not to be able to put that booster pump into their budget.
Yeah.
What do you pump out there, Neil, about what, 1,000, 1,500 gallons per minute out there?
I think that 500, 1,150.
Hmm.
Gallon a minute.
Well, in my view of it, it's on the architect or that group that missed this, and they're wanting somebody else to eat the cost of it instead of them. I think they should have to go ahead and pay for that. Cause I know there's another property out there that they had to put a booster bump in too, and they paid for it.
You're right.
You know, why should we pay for somebody else's mistake on their end?
Yeah, I agree. We shouldn't be covering the cost of oversight of somebody else's.
Jenny?
I'm agreeing.
All right. Well, I will entertain a motion to not move forward with incurring any expenditure on behalf of the municipality. Basically, due to the fact that it was a error on the engineer and contractor's behalf, you will make sure that and explain to them that the incentive is not a liability issue to the municipality. And so, with that being said, I'll entertain a motion
I think,
to not.
do we just let it go? I don't think we have a negative motion to not do it, or just there won't be a motion to,
It's a formal action item.
Yeah, you have to vote on these.
so I thought we didn't do negative motions, but whatever, okay.
On the negative side,
Yeah.
to not pay. I see what you're saying. Well, but it's, if it's under formal, right? And,
How about this? I make a motion to reject the request for purchasing of the $20,000 booster pump.
And I'll second that motion.
motion by Commissioner Thompson, second by Commissioner Howard. Any questions, concerns? Mary Thorold.
Harris,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Brumbault,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Okay, we move on to item D. You just want to say how you just moved past this, Sharice, so the commission can know.
Okay.
You want to say
Oh,
anything
you wanted
to
me to
that?
say that? I'm sorry. We had I had a conversation with the individual that was interested at one time in pursuing the building official on just a temporary part-time basis. And he called this morning and said he remembered why he retired. And so he was going to go ahead and reject the opportunity. So I said, and then there's days like today, I remember why I retired too. So I understand.
Any questions for Sharice? Not, we move on to item E, city manager recruitment. At this particular time, I'm going to make a motion to recess into executive session with the authority of KSA 75-4319B1 for matters related to non-elected personnel. I would like all the commissioners and the interim city manager for a period of 25.
And Crystal.
Right?
And Crystal.
Oh, and Crystal. Okay, and Crystal, thank you. I didn't know. For a period of 25 minutes. And so I will entertain a motion. I have one on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Time is 5:21. Marion, we're going to go downstairs. Instead of cleaning your to order. Move on to item 5, reports. Interim City Manager, Sharice, you're on.
Hey, the first thing we'll do is talk about the GMIB test and that security agreement.
Mhm.
We'll need to have formal action to approve that. That's still under the city manager recruitment piece. And I don't think that you're gonna have a ton of costs from it, but if you decide to do more than 3 candidates, of course it's gonna go up, but I figured probably 3 would be about what you'd wanna try to bring in. And that'd be $1,720, I think, by the time you pay the fee and the test. And then you got the security agreement, so that you have to agree to, so. But it's well worth it.
So you're gonna need formal, I mean, we can vote on it tonight if that's what you're looking for,
Yeah.
to allow staff for the approval to proceed with city manager recruitment.
Right, with that MPS agreement.
Okay. Any questions for Sharice?
I'm just reading through the agreement. I mean, they really want to protect their property for sure. So we
They
have
do.
to be very careful with it when we use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, reading through it, I think it looks fine. It looks pretty standard.
When we first used it, and this has been 20-some years ago, when we first used, we had to show them that we locked it up in a cabinet. We had to prove to them. I'm like, wow. So,
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the MPS agreement.
Okay,
Second?
have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Thompson, second by Commissioner Howard. Any questions, concerns? Mary, read the roll.
Ferris,
Yes.
Brumble,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, back to you, Sharice.
okay, the job advertisement, the job description, the community flyer information, those are all things that if you guys are comfortable with, we're gonna go ahead and start moving with them. But the biggest piece, if everybody's comfortable with those items, is the hiring process. And I've got it laid out for you. If there's any piece of that that you're concerned about or question, I'd really like to have that discussion so that we can make adjustments and timeframes if we want to put something else in there, things like that. Because the first things that Crystal's going to get asked is, when are you going to do interviews? How much do you pay? And how's the housing? So, well, we don't want to answer housing right now. But I think the purchasing market's better. So, do you have any questions on any of those other processes or any of this process that we've outlined for you?
Not me.
No, no question. I think it looks great. You guys are doing a
Okay.
really great job.
The other piece that I need some direction from, because we're doing this in a very expedited manner, we will actually get the ads placed really quickly. And then July 30th, we're going to start the review of the available applications. And actually, we can start as soon as we get them so that we're not overwhelmed with, all of a sudden you have 30 applications. You can do a couple a week. In this process, it can be the 5 commissioners that do it. You can pick 2 people to do it. You can pick 2 people from the commission and maybe a staff person and somebody else, maybe the city attorney. It's however you guys want to do it. I just need to have the direction on what you want so that we can start distributing that, because remember, I'm gone. Well,
Maybe.
I'm on vacation.
Oh, vacation. That's right.
No, maybe. I've got my flights.
Yeah.
So, but that way we can have it all laid out for whoever you guys choose. So on the August 16th, who are you wanting to be on the review committee, the first review of applications? I'd be happy to do it for you, but I think there needs to be some commissioners, and whether you want to have other representations, up to you guys.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to have a couple commissioners and also at least 1 or 2 city staff.
Now, are you talking for the actual interviews? Or you're talking
Just the application.
just the application?
Just to weed through to see
Yeah.
who's that checklist that we have,
Hmm.
the most qualified ones.
Okay, Commissioners, now's your time to speak. What do you think? What do you feel? Because we need to give her direction.
Well,
We've done both ways, so it's really up to you guys.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good for a couple of us to do it, and maybe, Crystal, since she's kind of been involved with the process, if she would be willing to continue on. She, probably be the most upfront, familiar with everything going on person to do it, or, if any of your other department heads wanted to step up, and I'm pretty open in that regard.
Okay, got one opinion. Need to listen from the rest of you guys. Gary, what do you think? You want commissioners, or you want staff, or what do you need? We're talking about giving, Sharice and staff, to go through the applications, which
That's torture going through.
How many are we wanting, do you think, are we wanting to get it down to? Are we trying to get it down to the 3?
I would
here?
suggest 3. We can put it at 5. It's just your expenses get higher.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, maybe around 5. I mean, I don't have any problem with staff, doing, the initial, research so we get down to hiring one. But I think that, even if you have 5, I think that's going to be, give us a broad scope.
We could each look over some of them. Each
Well,
one of us
staff's
could bring
gonna,
a few too.
do it, because they'll bring the applications to the commission after they, review.
There's some you automatically want to throw.
You okay with that,
I guess-
JD? Okay.
So I'm just trying to think of how this process would work. Would the different people who are doing it, everybody kind of look through all the applications and we fill out the little form, and then kind of everybody puts their forms
Yeah.
together, and whoever on the top of the list of everybody's,
Yeah, for
Evaluation.
consistency, you want whoever you're picking to review all, if you get 30, they're gonna look at all 30.
yeah.
And, cause you don't want 30 applications and 5 people reviewed 5 and they all have the top 3. So you want them looking at all 30.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
You can usually pick, you can
Yeah.
eliminate a lot of them pretty fast. too.
Yeah.
That works for me.
So you just want Crystal and I to go through them, or do you want 2 commissioners to volunteer?
I'm okay
not-
with staff doing it. I mean, I don't particularly, want
Enjoy
to-
looking at all of them.
Yeah, well, we're gonna trust your expertise,
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be involved, and, so, I'm all right with doing it.
I'd be all right with that too. You and city staff, because they're the ones that's gonna be working with the new city manager all the time, so.
I don't know. I mean, I personally don't think it would hurt for at least 1 or 2 of us to be reviewing them as well. But
If you want to have Aaron, Crystal, and I do it, that's a good number to work with. Unless somebody else wants to go, pick me.
No. But then, yeah, no, that's fine, I don't have any issue with that. So Gary, you wanna be on there with Aaron, or?
I could look at some of it, yeah. If we don't like the response, we'll
Yeah,
have to look in the mirror and bitch at ourselves.
okay.
Anything else, Sharice?
If you're all comfortable with the rest of this process, like I said, the reception, we would need to know who you would want to have. Are you comfortable with kind of this outline? I was just throwing names out there. Or not even names, positions. I don't know who these people are in here.
yeah, I mean, I think it's a good variety. It's definitely a good starting spot to, maybe if another group or a person comes to mind between here and there, to add in there would be
Okay.
good. But it looks like it covers a pretty wide variety of the slice of the community, of people who would be there.
Okay. Do you have any former city commissioners you want? Any of them you don't want?
Well, where do we start?
I'm blind on this one, so I need help.
Well, we can give you direction on that later.
Okay. Well, we want to try to reserve that date with
All
them,
right.
so, because it's going to sneak up on us quick. And then the, let's see, there was another thing.
I mean, I don't know if Annette Fairbanks would be interested, but I think she'd be a good one to invite, just because of her vast experience.
Annette Fairbanks.
Former commissioner.
You might throw Dave Daniels in there.
Who?
Dave Daniels.
Dave,
Daniels.
you're helping me, right, Crystal? You know who these people are? Okay. Are they both former city commissioners?
Mhm.
That's perfect, good number. Okay. And then I'll just suggest that we ask the county commission to, among themselves, pick one person.
Sure.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. I think that's everything that we needed.
Nothing else.
Quite a process.
Yeah.
But hopefully it'll go nice and smooth.
Any other questions for Shreves before we move to Commissioner's report? Okay. Start off over here with Gary. Anything?
Well, I think things are going pretty smooth. A lot of racket going on across from me at the Topside Manor. Getting right
Racket's
to
good.
deal with it. Yeah, they're gaining.
We had some, couple more things under the.
I asked, anything else that you wanted to, I asked her, she didn't respond.
No,
Okay.
Mary has airport rescue grant funds.
Yes.
And then just a reminder on the special commission meeting, just for the public notice portion, that will be meeting July 12th at next Monday, 5 o'clock for budget session. And Mary, can you update them on the airport grant?
Yep, that's more funds through the American Rescue Plan Act, and this one's through the FAA, so it has to be used at the main terminal building, and they have specific requirements, but one of the requirements that fits us is the HVAC and where our units are getting very old. I have somebody evaluating the units to see how far that money will go. They're giving us $32,000, which is a pretty good chunk. So I went ahead and submitted the application and having that being evaluated for you, if that's okay.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. And that'll be spent right on that building right now?
What's that?
On the actual building?
It'll be on the terminal building, yeah.
Yeah.
It can only, well, it can be at the airport, but it does not affect any of your AIP grants, which is the ones like the runway, the taxiway and all that. This one is for utilities, operations, like janitorial, and a lot of that the city eats those costs. And we can't just pocket the money, we have to show expenditures.
Sure.
But yes, you're right, it is on the terminal building.
All right, thanks, Paul. Anything else, Reese? All right.
Are we gonna, just a quick question for the budgetary meeting next Monday, is that when we will be presented the budget, is next Monday?
I hope we'll be able to get it out to you on Friday. But I will say I have my.
It would
fingers
be
crossed.
appreciated, but no pressure.
It may be Friday night, but it'll be there.
So,
Otherwise,
That's our
we're just
goal.
gonna be looking at each other.
Yeah.
Monday going
Yeah.
not to tell.
All right, anything, JJ?
Nope, I've seen all the city employees out working, doing a good job. I'd like to commend them on everything they do.
Good. Yep. All right.
I just want to say, we had 4th of July over the weekend, and although we had some rain, kind of dampened my festivities for Sunday. It was a good time. Did notice that everybody really enjoyed the extended times, the fireworks. Some people liked it, some people did not. There was some complaints about the loudness of the fireworks to deeper on in the evenings, for sure. But, I think overall it went really well. If there needs to be further discussion in the future about maybe restricting the size of some of the fireworks that can be put off, that may be a future conversation. But as a whole, I'm glad we did it, and I think everybody enjoyed it. well, no, most people enjoyed it.
JD?
Nothing.
I didn't hear very many actually on the 5th
No.
at all.
No.
They were all
Pretty quiet
Huh?
yesterday.
There was a few.
Was there a few? Yeah. Didn't, I drove around and didn't hear the commotion that we did on the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. But anyway, as mayor, again, hats off. Thank you guys for everything that you're doing. Moving forward, the community's looking good. You're being assertive and you're working well with Cherise and she's working well with you guys and we're getting some things done, keeping us well informed, so I appreciate that, and I'm sure that you guys are being well kept informed by her. So that concludes my report. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Commissioner Brombaugh, a motion, have a second? Paris, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.